to Breaking Down Art Supplies. I hope you guys have had a wonderful day. It's sunny outside, it's beautiful, and it's also cooled off just enough to where we're not profusely sweating. Now, if you guys have actually seen a video of mine before, no, you're not going crazy. Yes, I painted. Yay, no more beige. I love this color. It's so pretty. Now, today I'm not actually going to be reviewing any products. I really wanted to share with you Lola. She has to make her way into my videos, one way or another. Well, she's gotten comfortable. So apparently Lola and I are going to share with you a technique I learned in college. It's fairly easy and pretty fast. It does help if you don't have a dog in your arms, by the way. But it does use a lot of your basic drawing materials, so usually this is stuff that you're going to have in your studio anyway. But it is a really nice technique if you are trying to transition from monotone pieces like black and white pencil or charcoal drawings into fully rendered, like, colored illustrations. But this technique does work for photorealism, cartoons, and anything in between. It really works for everything. What are you doing? Sit down. Go on. Hallelujah, we're puppy free now. Well, I'm wearing Lola now. So the supplies you're going to actually need for this project are an ultra smooth gesso panel. This is the Da Vinci Pro series. It's really nice and smooth, and that is key for this process. Now I will say, don't use paper, because later on you'll see we're going to actually be using oil in this process. And when you put oil paint on a paper, it immediately starts destroying the fibers of your paper. So you want your artwork to last, so if you use a gessoed panel surface, it's still slightly absorbent, so you can still work it in there, but it's not going to fall apart later on down the road. You're also going to need drawing pencils. Now I will say I've never done this process with charcoal, and I don't believe it's going to work. Granted, you're totally welcome to try it out and test it for me if you guys want to. But the process of doing this, you're going to end up rubbing your drawing, so you want something that kind of will stick, and graphite will do that. You're also going to need some spray fixative. I usually work with workable fixative, but this works as well. This is just a UV resistant clear coating. I've never quite paid attention to whether or not I've used gloss or matte or anything like that, so today I'm going to be using gloss, and if that causes a problem, I will let you know. You're also going to need a small tube of oil paint. Now you don't need to get a ton because we're not even going to be using that much, but I would suggest getting a burnt sienna. That is originally the color that my teacher taught me with, and I happen to really like it. It gives it a little bit of an orangey, kind of old-timey kind of look. But if you want to use a different color, you're more than welcome to. It will affect the overall kind of feel to your piece, because this color is going to show through a lot. Now, as far as brand of oil paint goes, really anything works as long as it's not water soluble. But I happen to really prefer the Charvin because it is actually made with a poppy oil, so poppy oil doesn't actually yellow over time like linseed oil does. And it does dry a little bit slower than linseed oil, so it stays a little bit more pliable for, you know, the process, and I happen to like that personally. Now you're also going to need just one sheet of regular old paper towel. You will need a kneaded eraser, nothing special, just a kneaded eraser. But you do have the option of also using other erasers. This is a vinyl eraser, which is really nice because it gives you a solid highlight. And then I like this Tough Stuff eraser because it's really small and you can get nice and detailed with it. Now you also need just a set of colored pencils. I happen to have the Soho set of 12. And last but not least, you need your ideas of whatever it is that you're going to be drawing. Now the first step tends to be the longest one. Now it does depend on how comfortable you are with drawing and to the extent of what you do as far as rendering. So this is J.K. Rowling with the Harry Potter scar, which I thought was pretty fun. But this is simply the first step. you just want to draw out your picture. This right here is simply just pencil on the panel. And I haven't actually spray fixed it yet, but that's the second step. So I'm gonna go outside and I guess I can bring you along and go spray. Now I've only ever done this process on a gesso panel. But since I was doing the tutorial, I figured I might as well test out whether or not it works on the birch wood. I haven't put anything on the front of this, I haven't sealed it, so I was curious whether or not it's going to work very well, because it is very absorbent, so we'll see how the oil reacts with this. But it's a raw birch wood with just my pencil drawing on it, and of course, yes, this is Lola, because she demands to be in my videos. So when you spray fix, remember to do multiple light coats in a very well ventilated area. Alright, so this next process is really easy. All you have to do is take your oil paint. This part might get a little messy. Put a little blob on there. But what you're going to do is simply buff it in. And there you have it. That's really all you need. You can see her eye kind of came out a little bit. I obviously didn't seal that very much, but that's okay, I can put it back in. The next step is to pull out your highlights with all of your erasers. Now, if you do erase something a little too light or something that you didn't actually mean to erase, use your painting paper towel to rub oil paint back in. It is very forgiving. You can actually see where I originally forgot the scar on her forehead. I also lost the majority of the drawing on the birch panel because of how much oil it absorbed. This also made it really difficult to erase, but it did eventually work. Though the wood grain also affected it and became way more prominent. You can see the darker areas with the wood grain that really didn't want to erase. I would ultimately suggest that you seal the wood with a clear gesso or PVA sealer first to give it a better surface to work on without losing the beautiful wood grain. Also, really awesome to know, the Tough Stuff Clicky Eraser is amazing for hair. So all that's left is now to add some color with the colored pencils, and there's something about mixing it with the oil. They blend really, really well into the oil. The oil kind of breaks down the waxiness of the pencil, and it's almost like painting with the actual colored pencils. Now this is also optional, but it is my secret weapon for dark black areas. This is the Jumbo Jet Black Pencil, which is an oil-impregnated charcoal pencil. It works great for shading and solid black areas, but it also is great for outlining.